All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. This is going to be me talking about how, how you can never doubt a son of Jacob, man, right? You can never doubt one of the children of Israel, man, right? And what this fight between, in my opinion anyway, between Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury, and also the Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury fights, all three of them that we saw, right? The only people that can bring out the best in another person, the only people that can bring out the best in the Israelite anyway, really, when it comes to any kind of physical competition, is another Israelite, man, right? And for any brother out there that's probably took part in any combat sport, that you will see a high population of Edomites in there, right, as well as a high population of Israelites in there. So anything that will be a one-on-one thing, man, or even a team sport, you'll know that the Israelites are always the hardest ones to compete against, man, right? The Israelites are always the hardest to compete against. And this fight showed that, man, because you had Francis Ngannou, who started combat sports from the age of 25. However, when he was a young man and a boy as well, he was digging sand mines, I believe this story goes. He was digging sand mines, man, right? Not even training it for combat sports, just digging and working to survive, right? But that whole journey led him to leave from Cameroon and travel to France, right? To immigrate to France. And then when he got to France, he was homeless, right? Sleeping in abandoned car parks and all of these things, right? And he was a big guy, but just being a big guy as an Israelite in this world, the worlds don't care about you. And even Anthony Joshua has said on a few occasions that he used to not get allowed into nightclubs, man. But he remembered some of the same people in the future after he had made it that would try and be coming up to him and talking about, I always knew you had made it and all that. And he was like, no, you never. He said that on some of his interviews that I've watched of him before, man. Right, but you can never doubt an Israelite, man. When you watch the Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury fight, the first one, in that 12th round where Deontay Wilder hit him with a right hand and left hook, any other fighter that got hit with that punch, they end up unconscious, man. Deontay Wilder is known for leaving people on sleep mode, right? But when he did it to Tyson Fury, he arose and got up from that, right? And both Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury were spiritual about that and attributed that happening to God, right? The same thing with how this fight here between Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury was named Battle of the Baddest, right? It was named Battle of the Baddest, and Francis Ngannou showed clearly that he's the baddest, right? He showed that he's better than Tyson Fury, because had this have been MMA, Tyson Fury's face would have been broken. And that's just straight up facts, man. Had this have been an MMA match right there, Francis Ngannou would have jumped on him and would have had plenty of options on how to end that fight. Whereas had it have been a boxing match, which it was, Tyson Fury still couldn't knock him out. And he was trying. Let's not make no mistakes about that. His own coach was saying, don't get too close to him. They was telling him, don't engage, just use the jab. If you've got the heavyweight champion of the world being told to just use the jab against Francis Ngannou, then that shows that Francis Ngannou ain't nothing to play with, man. And that was his first boxing match. To go for a 10-rounder, 10 3-minute rounds in your very first boxing match is a big deal, man. That's big. And had it have been a 12-round fight, who's to say that Francis Ngannou wouldn't have won? Had it have been 12 rounds, who's to say? Like, he clearly showed that he's a tougher guy than Tyson Fury, man, because if it was MMA, he wouldn't have made it out the first round. But Francis Ngannou went 10 rounds with him. And it just shows the amazing way how Israelites are better than everyone, man. Right? People was hating on Deontay Wilder, but they have to remember that Deontay Wilder also has not been boxing nowhere near as long as Tyson Fury. And again, I believe that Tyson Fury is an Israelite, but he hasn't been boxing. His toughest opponents have been Israelites, man. All of Tyson Fury's hardest fights have been against what the world would call so-called black men. All of his toughest fights, man. Every single one of them. And Deontay Wilder's toughest fight has been against Tyson Fury, which I believe is an Israelite. But you can't try and put Israelites down and then try and say anything about it, because we're amazing, and physical sports shows how amazing we are. Because nobody else can do the things that we do in them realms. And that's why all you Edomites, for as much as you talk smack about us, you have a LeBron James jersey though, don't you? You have a Kobe Bryant jersey, don't you? You have a Stephen Curry jersey, don't you? You have a Michael Jordan jersey at home, don't you? Right? You have a Scottie Pippen one, you know? You've got all these Israelite, you want all these Israelite basketball players on your teams. You want all these Israelite football players on your teams. But then you want to try and make it like they ain't nothing. If someone's physically better than you, right, then that's a sign that naturally at the core of what these people are, there's something better about them than you. Because if you give them all this, if you give every single nation on this earth the exact same training program, right, and make them do that training program for 10 years or even for a year, don't even need to go 10, even for a year, the Israelites are going to end up with the greatest from that. If everything's on an even playing field, man. If everything's even, the Israelites will be the top nation of the earth. But all these other nations, due to us being in a cursed state, have been able to get away with things against us, man. None of these other nations have been able. No other person. It's all done. I'm pretty sure Tyson Fury's been knocked down after this. It said 7 times in his fight, and before this, Steve Cunningham, who was a cruiserweight originally and moved up, he's knocked Tyson Fury down too. So it's been mainly Israelites that have always gave Tyson Fury problems, like I said before, man. Even ones that are way smaller than Francis Ngannou. Because he didn't look small next to Tyson Fury in that fight. Minus the height, he damn near looked bigger than him, if we're being real. And if it would have been MMA, like I said before, he would have body slammed his ass all over the spot. All over the place, man. And then the only other man in the world right now that I would say would be able to potentially beat Francis Ngannou in a real fight, in a real one, man, would be John Jones, man. That would be a very interesting fight to see. And Tyson Fury wouldn't have probably done too much better, wouldn't have probably been much different if he would have fought John Jones in a boxing match either, maybe. Who knows, man. But in a real fight, a MMA or a real fight, or taking it all the way, John Jones would dust him off too. Because boxers, even though I like boxing, boxers, they have a whole thing missing from their fighting, man, of not being able to know necessarily in a lot of cases how to avoid somebody grabbing you, right, and not knowing what to do to defend a kick, right. They don't know it. They don't really know anything about that. And then you've got other people that do other combat sports that they don't really know, like some people that do karate and taekwondo and all of those things, they wouldn't really know how to defend a punch. They know how to kick the hell out of everything. But if somebody tried to punch them in the face, they wouldn't really know what to do. Right? But Francis Ngannou is a fighter. And as far as fighting goes, he's up there in the top 1%. Because Tyson Fury couldn't come to MMA and do that. What he did is almost like taking some random guys off the street, right? And they come second place in the World Cup. Taking 11 men off the street that have trained a bit, but not in football. And then they come second place in the World Cup. They get all the way to the final, and then they lose on penalty shootout. That's basically what Francis Ngannou did to Tyson Fury, right? That's basically, to a certain degree, what he did, man. Or like somebody that's never really played tennis, but they might have played some other sport that involves a racket, coming second place in Wimbledon, right? The US Open. That's what Francis Ngannou did to Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury knows that had that have been a fight in Francis Ngannou's lane, he would have got really badly hurt, man. Because I've seen Francis Ngannou, and you can look it up if you don't believe me, but I've seen Francis Ngannou pick up Shaquille O'Neal like it was nothing. And Shaquille O'Neal probably weighs about almost 100, probably almost 200 pounds, if not more, than what Tyson Fury weighs. He probably weighs maybe 200 to 150 pounds more than what Tyson Fury weighs. And I've seen a video of Francis Ngannou picking him up like it was nothing, just to show Shaquille O'Neal that I can do that if I wanted to. So don't think you're bad because you're tall and big, because I've got something too that I got for you. He showed him that, man. But this is just a video like going into how Israelites are amazing, man. And there's a scripture in Sirach chapter 10 and verse 31 that says, the poor man is honored for his skill. Right? Francis Ngannou's received honor for the skill that he showed in that boxing match, man, because it was his first one. And now you got all other types of people wanting to fight him. I've heard people saying that Anthony Joshua wants to fight him. People saying that Deontay Wilder wants to fight him, but they shouldn't be wanting to try and fight him. He's not even a boxer. But let's just say this, they won't want to fight him in his sport, though. Let's put that out there. They won't want to fight him in his sport, man. And this ain't no, like, video necessarily on boxing, but it's just one thing that shows that Israelites are amazing, man. The same thing with how when it comes to music, we're amazing. In anything that we put our minds into, we're amazing. And here's the clearest point. In the Bible, we've shown ourselves to be amazing. None of these other nations bring out the same things from the Bible that we do. When Israelites pick up the Bible and I hear them speak about the things in the Bible, it don't sound nowhere near the same as if you're hearing some bugged out Christian talking. They always sound like they're lying. Every single time I hear one of these Christians talk about the Bible, even if I'm watching it on a video, man, I have to check my pockets to make sure they ain't stolen no money from me, man. Because it always seems like they're lying. It always seems deceitful. They're trying to ask their congregations for $1,000 and all. Man, these people are snakes, bro, when it comes to that Christianity doctrine. But anyway, I'm going to end the video there, man. I just wanted to do a video on how the amazingness of Israelites is always shown. It's shown every day, man. And that's why I say on the certain occasions that Israelites are beautiful and ugly at the same time, man. Right? Israelites are beautiful and ugly at the same time, because when you watch them, you can see some of the things you're doing. You're like, damn, how was this guy in his first boxing match able to almost beat Tyson Fury, who's the heavyweight champion of the world, in his first boxing match ever that he's ever had in his whole life? It's not the first time he's boxed, but it's his first ever boxing match. And his first ever boxing match was against a world heavyweight champion who everyone was saying was just a guy that could beat up everyone. But then he comes in there and does that. When really, for anyone that's boxing fans and that, if they looked at the technique of some of Francis Ngannou's punches, they'd see that it wasn't really the best technique, to be honest with you. It was good, but it wasn't the best. And Anthony Joshua is not much different in size than him. So he could probably beat Tyson Fury. Because that's the way our fighting goes anyway, man. There's some people that have someone's number, and there's some people that they've got your number when it comes to fighting. There's some people that you just can't beat, man. When for anyone that's watched a lot of boxing, like George Foreman beat Joe Frazier with ease, but he couldn't beat Ali. But then Joe Frazier had beat Ali, and he damn near almost made Ali want to tear off his gloves in round 14, I believe, in the Thriller in Manila. But his face was too damaged, and his coach just stopped it. So really, he won that fight because Muhammad Ali wanted to take the gloves off, but his coach, Joe Frazier's coach, just stopped that. But that's going into certain things in boxing anyway. That's not necessary to go into in this video. But Israelites are amazing, man, right? But we need to be amazing in righteousness. And that's why the new covenant that we're going to be brought under by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, that he speaks of in Jeremiah 31 and Hebrews the 8th chapter, that's what's going to cause us to be beautified, man, that we're going to be under the blessings instead of the curses. And I'm going to end the video there. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.